What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. So the other day I talked about how this new Inflation Reduction Act of 2022 was going to cause some problems. And one of the reasons why this is going to cause some problems is because it is taxing the middle class. And I addressed how if we get rid of the middle class, it's going to cause a lot of problems for the lower income earners, the lower class, because the upper class is going to control us. Now, I want to break down what's happening, but I also want to actually, I'm going to play a little clip for you guys. It's actually coming from the Americans for Tax Reform president. His name is Grover Norquist. Now, he was asked today. Now, I'm going to play this clip for you, but then I want to talk about this and discuss what's being said here. But he was asked today, if the Inflation Reduction Act of 2022 becomes law, who will get taxed? Well, I want to play this clip for you. Look at this right here.
Everyone, for starters, they say this is an anti-inflation bill. They raise taxes on crude oil, which is gasoline, raise taxes on coal for energy, and for the production of natural gas. So to start with, they go in and increase the cost of energy at a time when the Biden administration and the Democrat policies have already been pushing the higher cost of energy onto the American people, and that hits everybody.
Now, let's talk about that. Because not only does this one bill raise taxes on the American people, it does so while lawmakers are talking about cutting costs for the American people at the exact same time. Talk about a little bit of a hiccup and a little bit of some controversy here. But to make matters even worse, President Biden has been saying since before he was president that he would not raise taxes on anybody making less than $400,000 per year. If this bill passes, that would be a lie. So President Biden would be lying in this instance. We've also heard from Senator Joe Manchin very recently as well, and he has stated that it is not good policy to raise taxes while in a recession. It just doesn't work. But guess what? We're in a recession. So Joe Manchin would be lying in this case as well. Now, that is just from what Grover Norquist was saying. But then let's factor in the 15% tax to corporations and what's going to happen there. Well, here's what I can tell you. If you take 15% away from companies that, I don't want to say they always use it, but normally they use some of that money to reinvest back into their business. And I know some of these companies are paying, 10, 20, 30, 40 million dollars a year to their CEOs to run the company. But so they could take some of that money and reinvest it. I'm not going to get into that today. But by taking money, by taking 15% of corporations, taking 15% of their money, some of their profit, what's going to happen is this is ultimately going to slow down hiring even more. This will also eliminate wage increases. But the big thing is this is going to stunt our economic growth, which could actually push us further into a recession. So that's a problem there. But let's get back into the Inflation Reduction Act of 2022, because there are some things in here that I think are questionable. One of the big provisions within this bill is that Democrats want to provide $80 billion to go to the IRS for tax enforcement. Now, this is specific. This is really attacking Republicans in a way. I want to address why in just a second. But what we know is that President Biden, he wants to use this $80 billion. He wants to hire almost 90,000 IRS workers to go after lost revenue. Now, some of this money again, a lot of this money is going straight to workers. But a lot of this money is also going to other things. Here's the problem. What most people don't realize is that by hiring 80, 90,000 IRS workers, it's actually going to allow the IRS to unfairly go after the middle class. This will actually target, and we know this because this is exactly what has been said by government officials over the past few months is that by giving the IRS more money, we can target independent contractors, people that drive for Uber and Lyft, right? Gig workers, truckers. They can also target small businesses. And this is going to happen in a time when some of these small businesses and independent contractors are still trying to get their legs underneath them from a rocky 2 years. Now, I saw something interesting just today, and I want to address this because there was a report that I was reading earlier on today that stated about 50% of IRS staff does not even come into the office at all. Yet the Inflation Reduction Act of 2022 is going to use taxpayer dollars, $80 billion of taxpayer dollars, to provide some money to give the IRS workers more office space. Now, about 50% of office work or the IRS staff doesn't even come into the office, but yet we're going to give them more office space? Does that make much sense? No. But here's the thing. We're going to buy more office space, but at the same time, in which office space costs money, energy, electricity costs money, right? We got all utility bills. Again, it costs money. Then whose pocket is it going to come out of? Yeah, ours, the taxpayer. Now, I want to be very clear on something. There were a couple different articles that were talking about how this Inflation Reduction Act of 2022 is actually going to save us money. And it's true. It can save us money. And I know you're thinking, well, you just said that this bill is going to cost the middle class and millions of Americans, it's going to cost us more money because we're going to have to pay more money in taxes. But now you're saying it's going to save us money? It will. According to a recent report, the average family can save roughly $1,800 per year in energy costs. Yeah, in energy costs. That means that you would have to be more energy efficient, and then you would see those savings. But here's how this works out. This means you have to spend money in order to save money. Just to give you an idea, the Inflation Reduction Act of 2022 will give you a rebate of up to $8,000 if you replace your old heat pump for a new heat pump. Okay? So all you gotta do is pay, $8,000, right? And I don't know if it's 100%. I don't think it is. Okay? So that means you have to pay more. So let's say it's 50% rebate. Well, you would have to pay up to $16,000 to get $8,000 back. That's a great deal. No, it's not. Now, it also says you can save up to $840 for an electric stove or an electric dryer. Okay, great. That would be awesome if I could buy a used dryer off of Craigslist or Facebook for $100, but not when you're going to spend, $2,000 on a dryer, or in most cases about $1,300. It also says you can get a rebate of $2,500 for updating your electrical wiring. Now, I don't know exactly how much it costs to do a full update or a full rewire on a building. It depends where you live, obviously, but it's a lot more than $2,500. So, gotta spend money to actually save some money. And then on top of it all, the big thing is this bill will actually provide up to $7,500 in an electric vehicle tax credit. But again, you must spend money to save money. You have to spend, let's say, I think it's up to $80,000. That's the cap. So if you spend, say, $65,000 on a new Tesla, awesome, you're going to get maybe $7,500 back, right? Well, we'll see. You also got to fall under the income limits, right? That's another issue. So again, this isn't the bill that everyone's talking about. This isn't the great big bill that's going to reduce inflation, put more money into our pockets. It can, but you got to actually spend money to get the money back. So this is just, and I just wanted to fill you in on what's going on here. And the video that I played earlier on today, or earlier in this video from the president, the Americans for Tax Reform president, the reason why I wanted to just play that for you is because that's true. We are going to spend more money. Because guess what? If we are going to start providing these these tax credits, somebody has to pay it. You think we're just going to go deeper and deeper into debt? No, not with Senator Joe Manchin trying to really push this. But then the fact of the matter is we go deeper into debt because of this bill. But everyone's saying this is going to reduce inflation, which honestly, I don't know if it will. So just wanted to fill you in on what's going on there. If you have any questions whatsoever, please ask your questions down in the comment section below. It is because of one of you guys' questions that I wanted to update you on what's going on here, because somebody simply asked, how is this actually going to impact the middle class? This is how. So again, thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.